that's what it's going to be. Us smacking this team down like we did the Jets, who didn't even have a quarterback. They had a practice squad quarterback plan. I don't anticipate that happen at all. What I do anticipate is that the Saints will have a strong game against this team. We won't go in there underestimating anybody, but don't get it twisted. The Tennessee Titans aren't the New York Jets. This is a team where Cam Ward's playing good football. Tony Pollard is a strong running back right there, and they have decent wide receivers to make things happen. Dyke has speed. Meyer makes very difficult catches. Van Jefferson out of the secondary is a guy that can really get up the field, and they have two really good tight ends. They operate in two tight end sets who block well and act as wide receivers. They have enough player personnel up front on the defensive side in Jeffrey Simmons, Jahai White, Cody Barton, as Cedric Gray. He's questionable, but a game time decision. So they have players to take care of business of in this type of environment, and they'll be at home. They're coming off a win against the Kansas City Chiefs, regardless of not that Pat Mahomes wasn't in the game. They still beat the Chiefs, and they feeling pretty good coming off the win. And we continue our success going forward is where we start off with the 10 keys to victory. And I'm going to give you 12 keys to victory because it's not about to say New Year's, Christmas Eve. So we giving out gifts here on the Sports Coma with 2 extra keys on top of the 10 keys to victory. So key number 1, capitalize on the passing momentum, right? So quarterback Tyler Shough and receiver Chris Olave have built momentum. The Titans defense is susceptible to passing. So we have to be able to use that. We have to eat up the secondary and take advantage of, they have injuries there. They're not as consistent as other aspects of the Tennessee Titans defense. I know the Saints will attempt to run the football. We know that. But at the same time, we have to be able to get the ball upfield vertically against that weak secondary and make them pay, right? That is big. Number 2, contain the Titans run game. While the Saints was strong against the run. We strong against the run the last several games or so. The current defense, we still need to tighten some stuff up. Need to keep swarming to the ball. And we got to keep Tony Pollard under control and keep the Titans defense offense, one-dimensional. Tony Pollard needs like 10 plus yards against the fouls, and he'll get that. But when you trace back to matchups against like the Carolina Panthers matchup, where we had their running back under control, the recent matchup against the Jets with Hall, who's good. So we've been facing running backs and as of recently really keeping them under control. We can't allow Tony Pollard or Tajay Spears to get loose in a running attack because they have enough people to make it difficult for you. That's the bottom line. So we have to rally to the ball and we have to stop Tony Pollard. Number 3, generate interior pressure. That's number 3. With defensive tackle Brian Bresee out, Big Shep will be crucial. He'll be a next guy. The Saints might have to kick Cam in on certain plays to generate pass rush. Jonah Williams, we've seen him play interiorly to create pass rush. Whatever the case may be, we got to generate interior pass rush against the Titans offensive line that has struggled to protect Cam Ward. Time for 3rd and sacks lead wide with 51. They allowed him to be sacked 51 times, which means there is definitely opportunity for the Saints to add. Do they get 8 sacks like they did against the Jets? I don't know. But if we can get half of that, 4 or 5 sacks, I think that would be even better too. But you'll have an opportunity to handle business against this team. Number 4, we got to win the turnover battle. In low scoring affairs, turnovers are critical. The Saints defense must force some fumbles and interceptions while the offense got to protect the ball and gain edge in possessions and on field position. So we need that to happen. The Saints defense got to get the fumbles. We got to win the turnover battle. We seen last week the Saints did have some stuff going on. They did get an interception. They sacked the quarterback 8 times, which was a record. And we did a lot of positive stuff. We also must, when you have games against teams, that's a 3-win team, that's one of the worst teams in the NFL, we know for a fact that they are going to turn the ball over. You're going to get a turnover or 2. You're going to get opportunities to sack the quarterback. You're going to get a guy throwing the ball early to a pick. You got to be there and make the play. So we got to win that turnover battle, right? We got to win it. All right. So that's number 4. Number 5 is eliminate the offensive penalties, right? Saints offense committed a lot of penalties and early in the season. This time around, last game they kept the penalties down, and cleaning this up is big because the Saints were able to, in essence, they didn't get any false start penalties. They did have a couple of personal foul penalties, is whatever going on like that with Alontae Taylor smacking the guy in the helmet or whatever. But outside of the false starts, the Saints have done a good job over the winning streak of keeping themselves disciplined and contained, not getting the miscues that help us. So they've been paying attention to that, which is helping play a cleaner brand of football when they're not self-sabotaging, right? So we got to continue to do that, right? 4 or 5. What's that? 5. That's 4. Well, here's the next one. Secure catches, drops, buys. Receivers can kill promising drives. The receiving corps must assure they make the contested catches, open catches. When you get an open catch, you got to do it. And then you're starting to see that with Chris Olave. The Saints are finding aspects and areas of the field they can place Chris Olave in zone defenses. It's really showing up. They're doing the same thing with Juwan Johnson. They're putting him in certain areas of the field, holes in zones, and you can see that a stiffer Juwan Johnson earlier in the season, you can see him jumping over receivers now, trying to jump over people. You can see him spinning, putting his hand, using stiff arm, lowering using his size to push through smaller defenders for your extra yards. You're starting to see that more. And one of the positive things I've seen on film is that they're getting the ball to Juwan in motion, like he's moving on the field, and when Tyler Shough is throwing the ball to him, he's catching it in motion, right? He's moving in motion. He's not standing still. A lot of these plays, he's catching them while he's still moving, and that's big because the momentum can carry him forward through and make him able to catch, break tackles of smaller defenders. So they're putting Juwan, they're putting Chris Olave, they're putting Mason Tipton, they're putting Taysom Hill, they're putting these guys in position where they're making plays, right? And that's a positive. So security catches, especially when they're open. Reliable kicking, with the game often coming down to the wire, having reliable kicking. We've seen the Saints convert 5 of 6 last week. That'll be vital in the special teams area, right? That'll be big. Speaking of special teams, the next key is effective special teams coverage. We got to have that. The Titans have a strong return game, so the Saints coverage teams need to be excellent with the hang time on punts. So Kai Kroger has to be able to, when we're punting to him, you got to put them suckers up high and inside the 10-yard line if possible on those punts. We have to watch out for that. And of course, precision kickoffs to minimize those explosive returns. Charlie Smith, let them kick the son of a gun through their end zone so they don't get a return. You see what I'm saying? And on punts, if we have to punt, kick that sucker 40 plus yards up in the air, allow the coverage teams to get down there, because these people are really good at that. We don't need them to have a flash special teams play to hurt us. We need to focus on that. Special teams in this game, we have to control that area. We have to stop them from doing that, because in that asset, they're better. They're a top team in NFL in doing that, and you have to watch out for that on special teams. All right, that's another key. Here's another one as well. Control third down conversions. Winning a third down battle on both offense and defense historically been a strong indicator who controls the game and ultimately wins. Third down conversions. Saints have done better with third down conversions. They have done better, and that is a part of why the team is winning these games. We've had drives where we stopped ourselves, and they've had drives where the Saints were able to convert the third downs because they're not having the miscues where they hadn't picking up false starts and all this kind of stuff, which put them in third and long situations. A lot of the Saints third downs, not all of them, but a great deal of them are manageable, which will be 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 3. That's what you want to be. And when you have that, then you have everything. When you have manageable third downs, it is. Trust me, it's a lot better being third than 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15. They've been manageable. Next key, establish the run game. You got to be able to establish your own running attack. Both teams struggle to run the ball. We know what's dealing with our team. Where the other team can establish the more consistent rushing attack and control the tempo, and then get into those play action opportunities that we need to be able to take care of and get into our bag as well. So we have to establish the running attack. We know that Devin Neal is out. Alvin Kamara is still currently showing like he's going to be out for this game as well. The Saints have not put AK-41 on the shelf like they did Devin Neal and shut him down for the season. Kamara is listed as questionable here and could be a game time decision. And we probably going to end up seeing Alvin Kamara this week. This is the closest we've seen him, and the Saints have not. It's a reason why they haven't put an AK-41 on the shelf. It's a reason why he hasn't been placed on the shelf meaning the injury list and done for the season like a Neil or Kendre Miller. They still feel like he can contribute. Well, this Titans game, you might see Alvin Kamara back. You might see AK-41 back in this game with Taysom Hill, with Chris Olave, with Jawan Johnson, with Mason Tipton. We could have an additive, extra big player like Alvin back for the final two games against the Titans and the Falcons. So that would be a huge plus for us offensively to get our best running back there with what he does, and then mix him in with Taysom Hill. So I think Alvin. I do think ultimately Alvin Kamara will get back. Excuse me for that, fam. I think AK-41 will make it back in time for this matchup against the Titans. He's listed questionable current right now, and it'll be a game time decision. And I think it's a reason why they hadn't shelved him yet. I think they believe that he can still help us. I think he'll be, and this is just me stepping out on a limb right now, but I think that ultimately, Alvin Kamara will be ready to go come the Titans game, and we'll have him most certainly for the Atlanta game to close out the regular season, right? All right. So anyway, that's getting your running attack. That was tempo number 2, controlling the tempo. Number 10 was establishing our own running game so we can be able to balance and get into our play action bag. And then here's 2 more tips for the fam. Tip number 11, fast start, right? Getting off to a fast start, creating what we call a snowball effect, giving the crowd their home crowd less to cheer about, making it quiet for our offense to separate, controlling the atmosphere. Let's make this stadium, Nissan Stadium, our home by starting off fast, punching the Titans in the face, and just going after their quarterback because they've given up a lot of sacks. They're not good in protecting them. I think Coach Staley will do a good job in dialing up the blitz. You're going to see the Saints cut it loose and go from there. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works and how it happens for the Saints. I'm looking forward to it on a high level of watching the Saints go into Nissan Stadium with Alvin coming back for the game and helping us out right there, man. I think this is going to be a good way, like I said, to close out the season with 2 games remaining right there. We'll see how they close it out. But there, and by the way, for the weather, for the family members that's asking about the weather, it's supposed to be a little rain. I'm anticipating here. I'm gonna give y'all a weather report in just a moment after we finish with the keys of victory. So that's key number 11. A bonus for you guys is that we got to get off to a fast start. Key number 12, matchup exploitation. The Saints should target the Titans defense in areas of weakness, such as targeting the wide receivers, giving the yards allowed by the Titans pass rush defense. So we have to be able to target and the secondary. I know that some of the better players, the linebackers, the defensive line with Simmons, all those guys up front are good, right? They have some good players up front and at the linebacker level. But in the secondary, there's a lot to be desired. They need help in the secondary. That is where we will shine against the Tennessee Titans. We'll take advantage of that weak secondary. That's what we have to do as a team to gain more success. So those are the keys to victory right there, fam. Of course, we have to be able to handle the business and shut it down, but that's 12 keys, 2+ keys as gifts to the Who Dat Nation on this Christmas Eve edition. I keep saying all kind of different holidays, man. But number 1, key, capitalize on passing momentum. Number 2, contain the Titans run game. Number 3, generate interior pass rush. Number 4, win the turnover battle. Number 5, eliminate offensive penalties. Number 6, secure catches, especially wide open ones. Number 7, reliable in the kicking game. We got to come in there and kick. We're 5 or 6, but when we get an opportunity to kick the ball, we got to do it. Number 7, effective special teams coverage, because these teams, one of the best, they're the best in the NFL. In that punt return situation, we got to watch out there. Number 8, control the third down conversions. Make sure we get third and shorts, not third and longs, and convert them. What was it? Number 8. What was that? Number 9. Okay, let's go to number 9. Establish the actually, that was number 7. Control the third down. Like I said, number 9 is establish the running game. Oh, actually, that's 10. I got mixed up. Number 9 is control third downs. Number 10 is establish our own running attack. Number 11 is get off to a fast start. And number 12, matchup exploitation, taking advantage of the secondary for the Tennessee Titans with our wide receiver and our offense as well. So that's the top. That's the 10 keys +2 for the holidays for the Who Dat Nation in this thing. So anyway, let me go to and also look at and see if we can get the Titans weather report that'll be here in Nissan Stadium on that day, and see exactly how that will benefit. So for the Sunday matchup, right, for Sunday, it's supposed to be raining, family. So it's a 91% chance of rain. It's breezy in the morning and remaining warm with periods of rain throughout time. So it's supposed to be a rainy day in Tennessee, which means this is going to be a run heavy game. Now, this is supposed to be in and out, but it'll be 69 degrees. It'll be the lowest considered 27 degrees, but the game will be at 12 o'clock. We'll see exactly how that all plays. So with a 12 o'clock tip-off time, they're anticipating 6 to 8 degrees. It's supposed to be a little rain involved there as well. I think it's 90-something% chance of rain, 91% chance of rain right now. Early on is what I'm seeing for that game. Sunday, early on, 69%. The temperature is supposed to be raining. It's going to be breezy in the morning and remaining warm with periods of rain throughout the day. So the winds, how would the winds be? Southwest, 14-mile-per-hour winds. So it's going to be a rainy day in Tennessee. It's an open air stadium. So there you go on that. So might see another little rainy day situation, which will kind of lead to more of a run game ultimately for the Saints. So it might be a little sloppy stuff going on as well. So that's the weather report for the game. And that's pretty much what I got for y'all on this show, man. Y'all put in the likes. Now, also, do I anticipate the team picking up and getting a win here against the Tennessee Titans? I do. I think the Saints, it'll be closer than we think it will be because this is two young quarterbacks operating right there. I think Alvin Kamara will come back for this game. So it'll be cool to see Alvin along with Chris Olave, Juwan Johnson, Cam doing this thing. So I do think that the Saints will get the win. It'll be a lot more difficult for us than we think it is. I don't think we blow the Tennessee Titans out because I think this is a young team that's still fighting. They still got a lot to be concerned, to be proud of. But in the end, I think the Saints have more than enough to be able to take care of the Tennessee Titans who struggle at home. Can we deal with the rain? Can we execute our game plan and stay on code? Finish the season strong, beating the Titans, beating the Falcons, and going into the offseason at 7-10 on a 5-game winning streak is just perfect for what we want the team to do because that'll build great momentum and make it a very positive offseason going forward as Saints win 5 straight. So that would be so cool. And I think that the Titans will put up a fight, but ultimately I think the Saints will win by a field goal or something to that degree. I don't think they blow them out like we did the Jets. I think it'll be a lot closer than that.